We are voices of the divine. Hearts awake and we don't deny. Truth is calling deep inside. No more fear, no more divide. We've seen the shadows, felt the pain. Yeah. But we're not here to live in chains. The fire's rising in our soul. There's a higher purpose taking hold. Divine GPMS, feel the call. We rise together and standing tall. This is more than just a name. We are here to spark the flame. Add your energy, take your stand. Then healing flows through every hand. This is how the shift is done. We all unite and rise as one. Oh, yeah. No more shouting at the pain. We're the ones who bring the change. Yeah. We're not just seeing what is wrong. Yeah. We're creating something strong. From the ashes, from the dust. We're creating something built on trust. Every soul that signs their name adds their light into the flame.
It's time for the whole world to unite and stand against the tyranny which is happening worldwide. And let it be known, the Divine GPMS is for everyone. Every nation, every race, every religion, every gender, and every soul.
No matter your past or your path, you are welcome here. We stand for peace, unity, equality, freedom, and love. This is where every voice matters, because every consent carries energy. So if you feel the call, trust it.
Divine GPMS, feel the call. We rise together and standing tall.
Oh, yeah. This is more than just a name.
We are here to spark the flame.
Add your energy, take your stand.
Then the healing flows through every hand.
This is how the shift is done. Now ascension has begun. Oh, yes, it has.
Divine-gpms.world is a worldwide cumulative gathering of consents for every child, woman and man to ratify and enact into law worldwide the all-inclusive replacement system of money and law worldwide. As outlined on the consenting website of Divine-gpms.world, it is imperative that all worldwide take a couple of minutes and consent to add your accord, children included.
Greetings to everyone. We are on July 5th, 2026. We are on divine-gpms.org open public or night meeting. We have with us Rick George, still living in Romania or probably in another planet, as it's shown the design behind. Also, Sister Lodi. Also, she's in another planet where the body is younger. This is what I think. Serhi, he is living in Canada from Ukraine. He's coming from Ukraine, born in Ukraine. And I am Beatrice. I am born in Romania and I am living in Canada. So I and Serhi seems that we remain here until GPMS is done. So we wish GPMS to happen. Then also yesterday I spread some cards and I saw the people reaction. Some are motivated, but others they come from a sort of feeling of sort of anxiety, depression, accumulation of problem, situation where the politics become more a theater than even a hope, that it's still not a hope anymore. So if it was a hope in the past to change another party with another political party, this will work, or independence, Alberta will be working, or right now the people started to see that everything is theater, and we have um, something that even the people that they have the flag of Alberta independence started to be a little bit more interested. Hi, Emily. So Emily, she's here also, guardian of GPMS from the United States. And what I would say, I was a little bit skeptical when I walked through their door, basically on the steps, and um, I said, "Oh my God, too many flags of Alberta independence here. Probably will have the same reaction that I experienced since October." But no, seems that it is in July 2026, the people are willing to hear something else. So when I presented GPMS as the law that has to change, when the law changed, the politician has 47,000 in the world. They are just 47,000 voices. And now they cannot take over 8 billion anymore. They cannot tell to 8 billion what to do. Then the change start from there. The people were interested, and I said, "Oh my God, if I see so many people interested that they pay attention to the message, to GPMS message and card, and they have a Alberta independence flag on their door, probably something happened." So, Rick, I am interested, what it is your opinion about the ascension and also this stress, anxiety, depression that we see that amplify with so many people and all the situation, crisis, and everything that is happening.
Yeah, well, essentially, what you see with this ascension right now is that humanity, for the first time ever in mass, are being compressed. And with this, what you're feeling, what many of the empaths and divine ones are feeling as a low density out there, what is actually occurring is that this is part of the process of the masses to be compressed, to be down, to be destitute, to be hopeless, because it's at this point, it is the breaking point to make a choice that they have to make change. So, in this overall ascension, this is what's occurring. Humanity cannot go forward into a civilized place while they remain savage. And the only way to do that with the ascension and with divine GPMS is to give the real direction, the real hope. GPMS is more than a hope, it is the real thing that is there for the people to choose. It's being done lawfully, logically, practically. So it's not a difficult thing for ones to understand. It's kept simple for them just as a choice. But what is occurring worldwide is humanity is having the experience right now to know that they must make choices, that they must stand. And, that's what's occurring every moment, unbeknownst to any individual, perhaps. Many are awakening. They're making different decisions, different choices. Importantly, they are coming into alignment. And part of that alignment is reflection on their past life and coming on their this life, but a reflection on their life so far and evaluating this and saying, look, and this is especially what we call the baby boomers, if you will, that are now like 50, 60 years old, and what they were told years ago that they would be all in great abundance and freedom. And, at 45 years old, right now, everyone should have been able to retire. But what they're seeing is the opposite. Even ones on pensions have to go back to work to struggle to survive. And even some are having two and three jobs trying to survive in this capitalistic world. So what they're seeing is it was an actual lie to keep them in a monotonous enslavement program, and they need to make choices right at this point. The world, as they all see it, cannot continue as it is. It's becoming more and more obvious every day that there is a deep evil, a deep darkness out there. But the people themselves need to know that they have the power to make the change. And the key with the ascension is unity. And again, this is why you see separation tactics by the darkness to segregate people into nations, but also into the individual levels to control ones, and all of the negative connotations that go along with it. So it's quite a process and quite a journey. However, what I need to say again is we're getting so close because the majority of the people worldwide are at a point that they're saying enough is enough. And the only way to change things is to be proactive and take action as well. But they need to be equipped with the only tool that can do that efficiently and more than efficiently. And GPMS is the only option. It is the only way. It is only the only tool for people to civilize this world and humanity as a whole. And it's all divinely scribed and prescribed. It's all printed out to do this. So in this ascension, individuals thought they're just here to uh, have their own ascension, go through their inner work, their purification processes, and to think that it's just about their self. But once they go through that, there's a higher wake up call that comes in. And then they begin to realize, wait a minute, I've done everything right. Why am I still here? They are still here because it's not about them individually. It's about the unity and about changing the world. How can you change the world if you are not here? So that's what it's about. It's about the mission that is attached to this. And humanity and the human part of the soul always seeks a place comfort, of comfort, and that doesn't mean great comfort. It means the place of comfort, able to adapt to survival environments. But this adaptation and survival environments are no longer even a sanctuary to appease the individuals. So they have no place left to turn. they can no longer survive. So when survival is even taken out of the picture, then they know it's time to choose a better way, and they will choose GPMS. So right now, what you have is there's a lot of confusion, a lot of noise out there on the internet. And what you have is many have become reclusive. They're taking time away from the internet, not only because of the noise, but because of the energetics and compounded effect of most righteously complaining about the way things are, but it creates a density and a negative energy that is actually in conflict with the solution. But again, it has to occur. So what you see is individuals taking time away and to discover more of their self and to discover more of their choices. So this is the time that we're in, and there's not many online. You also had the summer, so we are at, let's say, just a little period with GPMS where there's a little lull because many are going through this process. But at any given time, and in the blink of an eye, again, you will see humanity rushing into GPMS because it's simple, it's real, it's logical, and truly it's the only choice. Thank you.
So, what scenario do you believe that is more appropriate? Because in the last time we spoke about 10 years and people moving in another planet as soon as they ascend, or remain here and having probably a solar flare that will clean up, and then we start. So, what option it's more seen as um, could be the possibility? So, which one remain more on the beginning of July 2026?
With this, and I say this publicly, and more or less I always had, that this is the divine plan of Father, how it goes forth and how it is orchestrated. And I also use the words from uh, Brother Jesus, as was scribed by, let's say, some of the apostles, that only Father knows the hour with that. And at any given moment, I have to hand that there to Father because one of the reasons I am, excuse me, not privy to that hour, I'm given information that I share out. Yes, a rapture is still very possible for so many, and we know what effects that would have on those that remained behind. They would step up quicker into action if it occurred, and it would be a brilliant part of the strategy to effect bringing the heaven to earth, if you will. So there are different things that can occur with it. However, uh, for, let's say, us on Earth, it's not set in stone how it occurs, but it is set in stone that it's inevitable and that it does. And this is along the same premise as with divine GPMS. It is inevitable. The majority of the world does choose it because this is the spiritual battle between the light and the darkness here in the physical. And the greatest weapons of the darkness was their control of money and their artificial laws. So the instrument of the divine is to disempower the darkness with their control of money and equally place that in the hands of all to create great joy and abundance. With the darkness, with their control of money, they use it to enslave and create suffering and negative experiences. So you can see divinely how GPMS disempowers the darkness completely with the control of money, but GPMS with simplified divine law, with the foundation of do no harm, it also renders the darkness inoperable with their own artificial laws and their own capitalistic system that causes harm. So it's all provisioned for the heaven on earth scenario. And again, I need to say that it's so simple. So, having said this, it's inevitable that whatever affects it to catapult it does go forward. But it's also see important people need to make the choice. And we use the metaphor of what master do they serve? You cannot serve two. You cannot be wicked and evil and expect to go into a place of goodness. So ones need to make the choice at the individual level as well as the collective level. And this is what the thing is. So you can, if you choose, to serve a capitalistic beast system that is causing harm. By choosing that, you're going to remain part of that scenario. That will dictate what you experience and where you're at. But when you choose divinity, then you're in alignment with that. When you choose the divine plan, then you are serving the divine plan, which is based in goodness for all. So it becomes, if you will, once again, a no brainer choice. And all worldwide have to come together. They have to throw aside those differences and come together with the one common goal. And that's what we have with GPMS. We said, keep your beliefs, keep your whatever you wish of cultures, just come together. Can you agree on how this world is savage? Can you agree that we can come together and wipe out poverty forever and all suffering and to free humanity? If you agree on that one common basic principle, then it doesn't matter if you believe in God or not, as long as you believe in the common denominator, the common goal, what everyone, every soul knows in their heart is the right thing to do. But of course, that is being moral, and many do not even know that yet. But every day they're learning and learning more about it. If that answered your question.
Yes, for sure. We have also Eva Minkosa with us, our sister from Philippines. So, Emily, I see that also from the picture you wish to go in another planet if possible because of the high density on Earth. So, what is happening with GPMS in the United States when you spread the word? How the people receive the message at this time in July 2026?
Well, I mean, it's typically the same reaction I've been getting for years now. That'll never happen. You're crazy. You should probably get a psyche eval. You should probably go get your head checked. You know, it's the same thing. People are afraid. And um, there's a local judge here that I'm going to just share a little story from my experience. This is my experience with this judge. When I was 23 years old, I went to him when he was an attorney and I asked him to help me locate the man that sexually assaulted me when I was 16 so that I could find this guy and get some help to take care of my child. And he shoots me away. He was a lawyer. He said, I can't help you. You know, he's doesn't help me. Now I'm 50 years old and he is the judge over the whole county and not just any part of judge. He runs and operates the judge for behavioral health. He gets to deem people legitimately sane or insane. And he's got all this power and all this fictitious authority. And I'm like, who the hell put him in charge of people's mental health? And how is this even possible? You know, I'm really conflicted because when I look around the United States, I see the Mexican cartel, I see drug trafficking, I see human trafficking, I see all of these horrific things that are just ignored. They're just ignored. But, you know, people like me, they won't even let me walk down the street without my shoes on, without them coming to target me and ask me why I don't have my shoes on. Because I'm 48 years old. Why do I have to wear shoes? You know, I absolutely do look insane to a lot of people, but like I've been sharing with people, I can only explain this to people. I cannot make them understand it. They either have the understanding, they either have the capacity to understand, or they don't. And the days of me beating myself up thinking I'm somehow doing something wrong, them days are over. They're over because I've been really being very, very straightforward with the deconstruction of the institutionalized belief systems that I was forced to grow up in. I'm having to deprogram myself from all of these programmings and institutions that I was literally forced to go through as a human. You know, beliefs that do not serve my highest interest. They don't even serve anybody's highest interest. What do you mean the creator hates us all? What do you mean the creator is jealous? What do you mean this is all mind controlled to separate, and I'm going to say this plainly, the child from what the true living creator is, and that is love, that is abundance, that is joy. You know, this fictitious God that has been pushed, this narrative that God is this vengeful, hateful sociopath, it just doesn't work on me. That's not the God that I believe in. That's not the God that I know. You know, the creator I know is all loving, all encompassing, room for every piece of creation, hasn't left anything out. But humans and their finite little minds, I'm just really struggling to help them comprehend that there is something much bigger than their little bitty finite mind. That's where the struggle is. I watch people get stuck in their head and they try to rationalize and make logic out of the things I'm telling them instead of feeling with their heart. Instead of feeling with their heart, they get stuck up here. And the true revolution for me is to live authentically and from my heart. And it's a challenge. And I wanted to ask the panel because I don't know who's all doing whatever they're doing on the back end, but I did study the public lawful notices, and I read most of them, and I read over them, and I do see how they are very beneficial. But I believe that we're lacking a public lawful notice, a lawful notice to the bankers, a lawful notice to our landlords, so that we can begin to integrate this process with the people who still think they have the power to push the negative, to push that this idea, this concept that human beings owe anybody anything for a shelter. No, we don't. No, we don't. And watching people come online to the idea that there's more than enough on this earth for all of us, it's a bit of I don't ever know which way it's going to go, Beatrice. One minute they'll be in alignment, and the next minute somebody else will just call me crazy. So I don't ever know. It's mixed. It's mixed understandings, like Rick said, lots of confusion. And I see people's wheels turning, and I see their minds thinking. And like I said, if everybody would just get back into their heart, if we would just live from our heart. I can't go wrong with my heart. My heart never lies to me. My heart is the light within myself that is guiding me. It's the reason I'm still in the fight, man. It's the reason I'm still attached to the mission. It's because my heart is in this. This isn't a logic thing. It's a spiritual thing. And the seed of my soul beats for humanity because I'm a human being. So I'm still facing the challenges. I'm still living in a reality over here in America that is just, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. You don't know who's who, who's got going on where, what, who's protecting or looking out for anybody. And in the unity, I had a conversation with one girl in California, and she's like, shouting at me. She's shouting at me, we need to do this. We need to do that. We need to do this. And I'm like, I've been doing that. Where have you been? Would you like to catch up? Would you like to catch up to where I'm at? Because I've been doing these things. And I've been anchoring and holding my own sovereign container and pulling out the weeds. You know, people try to plant weeds, they try to plant garbage, they throw trash. And it's just ignorance because this is my energy field and I'm going to maintain my garden. This is my sovereign soil. I'm responsible for what grows in it and what does not. And it's not simple when you're dealing with so many different ideologies, religious beliefs, political agendas. It gets heavy and yeah, it gets hard to navigate. But as long as I keep in prayer and meditation and in my conscious connection to my source, I'm not worried about it. I don't have any fear. I mean, I've, I remember when I was a little girl, the Christian church tried to convince me that God hated me and that I needed this savior, you know, that I wasn't pure and I wasn't all these things. And I remember as a small child knowing these people are lying to me. I knew it from a very early age. If you would have ever got to meet my mother, maybe you would understand why. But she was taken from this earth. My mom chose to leave this planet when I was very small, and it set a trajectory for my life that was much different than the majority of people. So I am different from the majority. My path was hard. My path was a lot different than most people. How many people can you say grew up without their mom or raised their self? Not too many. And that's my journey. And I don't really feel the need to continuously talk about all the things that have happened to me here in the United States because that doesn't benefit me. That keeps me stuck
Mhm.
in like a lower, you know, looping pattern that I've already pretty much ascended out of. And I trust that my inner child, my source being knows what it's doing because here I still am. I'm still in the game. I'm still here on earth with everybody and I will report this since I've been back in this location, I have seen some portal activity and I have seen ships in the skies. They are everywhere. Sometimes they're cloaked. You can't they're cloaked with cloaking technology, but they are here. I saw a ship in the sky that was so big the other night. I was like, "Okay, I see you. I see you." So that's all that part has already happened. Disclosure is coming, and I'm just gonna stand in my knowing that that disclosure is happening from within us. We the people, we are disclosure. We are the media. We are the truth. We put it in ourselves, man. The truth lives within the very fabric of my DNA. And nobody can get around that at the end of it all. You know what I mean? You can't get around that because I put it inside of myself. And I love that for us because imagine if I would have put it in some scribes that they could burn and destroy, you know? Now they have to come directly after me. And if they do that, then they expose themselves. So I'm ready for whatever. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I know within myself that God has given me the strength and the courage and the power to walk through anything I need to walk through to get the mission completed. So I'm just ready to get on with it. That's my report from the United States.
Yes, thank you so much. So in the United States, there is not too much change. Even the good politician there, no, it's still not too much change. I was looking also on Florida, where in general the politics change a little bit more than in other areas, but no, it's still not yet what it has to be. It's far away. And also about the no shoes on the street, grounding is necessary for everyone. Just to remember to the people to remain minimum 30 minutes on the ground with no shoes every day. Yeah, so And this is also good to exercise for all body health, and also to link your mind with the heart, and as Emily said, to live by the heart and see what it is around. Yes, it is true. Housing, good food, and also good. I'm not saying medication, I'm saying remedies. This is all about essential. We are essential. So when this is missing, this is also my question. How the people may answer in the front of so many years of homeless and problems here. If I will go, for example, to speak with somebody, and I'll go soon, and I will ask them, you enforce all the time the rule that the people needs to buy the land, the land that is free. Um, the people needs to buy the land, and the people needs also to, but they are homeless, you know. So basically, we should start to take the land and start to build shelter. It does not matter the law for the homeless. So because it is supposed that the law to be enforced in order to help the people that they remain homeless. So when we see somebody in a homeless situation and can trust that it's a real homeless, it's not somebody that it's hiding money or something like. So when somebody arrive on this situation, especially in Canada, where we are in such big area, the land it is everywhere, and we are only 40 million. Why we need this government to enforce rules over the people when basically few of us can gather and can bring shelters for homeless in any part of Canada? Just take the land and nothing else, start from there. So this is the problem, and we have all the time this kind of rules and laws and everything, and this is the reason that we have to change the law. This is the reason that we need to come on this agreement, divine-gpms.world. We need to do a change by ourselves. Emily, I think that you want to still say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, the just in the United States, if you go to any town, any city, they are building infrastructure. They are building shelters, but they won't let people in it unless they have this enormous amount of money in order to just move into the home. Like there are literally empty, brand new complexes of shelters all over the United States. There is no need for anybody to be homeless. And you can see clearly that the agenda is to cause people to be homeless. And then they back it up with all these fake man made laws and governs. And, you know, you have to have all these fees and your credit has to do this. And it's nonsense. It is
Yeah.
unnecessary and it is intentional and it is malicious in its intent. And I can't ignore it. I don't know how anyone else on earth can ignore what is really happening. I'm a human being. My very presence, my very energetic imprint on this earth is my value. And everybody else in my reality seems to be getting a paycheck for experiencing the human experience. Except for me, they want me to go work for it. And I'm just like, for lack of, any other way to express myself, I just want to flip them off. I just want to flip people the bird because I don't owe people no money. I don't owe people anything. The system has been stealing from me and using me as a pawn in their little scheme of racketeering and extortion for far too long. I don't even have a law degree, man, but somehow I know what racketeering and extortion is. And that's what this government is a part of, racketeering and extortion. It's literally treason. So I didn't celebrate Independence Day because I don't feel like for what? So I could pay taxes on some fireworks? Come on now. Oh, I don't mean to be so frustrated, but I really am grateful that I am. And I'm grateful that, I'm even alive to be able to express myself and to share my feelings on the situation, because I don't know how anybody else can just tolerate this crap. I have a moral conscience. Surely I'm not the only one. Surely.
Yes, so Rick, a question to you, because I wish to start to speak with counties and everything. So the land is free, um, but this is with universal laws, and but at this time we have a lot of a land in Canada that it's saying um, belongs to Native Indians or belongs to government. So right now, to accommodate homeless, from where to start, because we have a lot of rules for construction industry on the name of safety, where basically the material inside of the of the construction industry are not safe. But anyway, as drywall or insulation, the pink one. But this does not matter because this center today on what is called safety, and they ask safety. So basically, just to take over the land and start to build shelter to save people life. From where to come, it is a sort of law, international or in Canada, that we can invoke in order to surpass this kind of situation for those that are really homeless, because more and more people become homeless here.
Yeah, well, if we need to look at it from this perspective, the current system worldwide is designed to create homelessness because there is an agenda behind this. And with what Emily had said in the US, as an example, what they are doing, when I say they, it is the rogue governments worldwide that are actually not representative of the people, and neither are they in the public's best interest. They have an underlying ulterior agenda, and that's an agenda of control. So when you look at homelessness, how do you assist with that? Again, you take the main objective, you take the main offensive of divine GPMS, and you eradicate the cause, what is causing this. If you keep trying to facilitate the homeless, the system is designed to create mass homelessness. You are defeating your purpose and you become tired, dissuaded, financially burdened, targeted, and worn out. So the common sense solution, once again, is to take control legally, lawfully, and in all good and right and just ways, the entire system to do what is right with it. And what GPMS once again does with this, it gives everyone equality and abundance, joy, dignity, sovereignty, and freedom. So instead of trying to find places for all of the individuals, it's better to put the focus on eradicating the problem directly, what is causing it. It's getting more and more every day. See, with the wars, the way the darkness works is they benefit from the wars. It's why they create them and why they create inflation, because it's all about controlling humanity. Many in the US are losing everything as well as in Canada, but not only there, worldwide. More and more are losing dream, everything that they worked for, because it was a falsity based on a capitalistic system in a material world. So again, the best and most powerful thing to do is divine GPMS, gather the majority of the people, because it's the majority of the people that are the victims of these rogue government political systems worldwide. and the people are the majority. That's why GPMS is based like this. See, in any, when you look at any government, they recognize the majority vote. That's how any government gets into power. So where a majority vote in itself is a law, doesn't it make full common sense that the people create their own system and their own law to replace this enslavement system? So again, this is the way. See, the people in any nation that prints its own currency can abolish poverty and homelessness instantly. But when they do it in any one nation, it also occurs, it's retroactive worldwide. Because once every nation sees this, one nation becomes the template of it. But what's been the job so far, the challenge is gathering enough in one nation to be the example for the rest of the world. So GPMS is already the richest nation on earth. GPMS was the richest nation on earth with the first consent, whoever that was, for the simple reason is that it's unlimited credit and value that comes from that one. We have over 407,000 with unprecedented, unlimited wealth. Even though we're not showing the world yet, it exists. It's very real and it's very powerful. And it's being done by a choice. But the people need to choose it to do what is right. And this is the stickler, this is the obstacles that is in there. The people, for the most part, in the past, they don't even know they have rights. They don't even know they have the power. And even with sovereign groups, sovereign ones, they don't fully know what true sovereignty is yet as well. Sovereignty actually depends upon what one considers the source of value. That's where it began. So when they began to realize that they are the source of unlimited value, then they recognize that the world is the opposite. And this becomes the inclination then, all right, we got to gather the majority of the people so that we are truly sovereign. So the definition of sovereignty worldwide has been distorted, misconstrued, and manipulated from what it truly is. But for the sovereign people, yes, we can say we are sovereign. Yes, we are. But we're in a world that is not sovereign. And it's that outside world that is problematic to those that are sovereign, because you cannot be truly sovereign in a world that is not sovereign, because it controls your value, your money, the things that you need. So with this, the true sovereignty is the true recognition of your source of value, and it's all combined together to do this. So sovereignty again depends upon what one considers as the source of value. As sovereign groups are finding in individuals, you can't run and you can't hide from this beast system as long as it's in power. You keep getting inflicted from the outside. You may be there minding your own business modestly, and let's say you might have a little sovereign camp, and then all of a sudden you find the government and military come in and move you right out of there, taking control of the situation. So then you come to find out that you're not sovereign, because the problem that is anti-sovereign is the worldwide rogue governments and those that they are paying. Now, with this, uh, no government worldwide can offer honest military personnel what GPMS can. And this goes the same with any police units. because Divine GPMS provides total, absolute financial, futuristic security. When military and police are controlled by a government, also their money is controlled and their families. So they are actually enslaved as well. Military and police are slaves of the system. And they become even more enslaved and they become more criminal as they carry out the unlawful things from the system. So uh, I had a couple things that is written down, which is uh, which is true. But and here's one other thing, because I am writing this things up, is you know, what are you allowing to control your life? I'll be putting this in a post to give to ones. And do you want to control your own life? Because this will be in the sovereignty, and that's what this is about. Everyone claiming their independence and respecting the independence of others and coming together. It's obvious in this current world, no one controls their life. They're subjugated to a rogue, corrupt, capitalistic beast system that is controlling every aspect of their life. And that has to go now, and it is. It's imploding. It's imploding because the people see how nonsensical it is, how savage that it is. So it is happening. We're in the midst of it. But to correct homelessness, take out directly the problem, and that's the current system. And then what you do by doing that, all of the homeless people have their own free homes, vehicles, abundance, and more importantly, they have their dignity and their sovereignty, and they have their respect, which is part of that. So don't focus on assisting um, so much trying to accommodate all the homeless, because the system is intentionally creating more and more homeless every day, and you're defeating the purpose of actually assisting them by trying to do it individually. The only way to do it is with GPMS and create the new system that uplifts all boats, if you will.
Yeah, so still here in Canada, we have right now another website where the people gather in Alberta also for Alberta to remain inside of Canada, to remain united, do not divide the land. And also the people that supported Alberta independence because they saw Canada is under a sort of communism, so they started to be awake and they tried to do something for good. Right now they see the show with the politics, what is happening, and their hope it's not anymore for so many that were aligned with Alberta independence. Right now they see there are a lot of problems, and this is more a theater where they can assist and can do nothing for themselves. So how the people react in Ontario and what it is happening there, how they receive GPMS message, and um, where we go here. Can we start GPMS from Canada, or what could be done?
Yeah. Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm in Ontario right now, and it's like last week we have a Canada Day, people celebrating, but still many um, asking questions. What's going on? Why is a recession's going on? Why it's everything just keep up and just in a prices and less job and more opportunities for Canadians. They still celebrating, but still having many questions why it's not right for everybody. It's they still don't want to changes. I mean, supporting celebration, like you are supporting the current system, and they don't want to change it because they just staying quiet and not doing anything else. They're not voting on the Divine-gpms.world. They're not choosing this plan. Many are know about this plan, but they choose not to share it around. Yeah, I'm share it a little bit around, but it's like I still, whoever I share it, they're not doing anything. I don't see their activities. They just taking a cards and just stayed quiet anyway. And it's like many refusing, but it's like I think it's a process to people probably has to put harder, and Canada already doing it. They just accept in the June the bill C8. Not so sure about this bill, but approximately it's about again another rules, another pressure on any regulations on food, water, businesses. They can just start pressuring anybody for anything without any permission from a jurisdictional system, without any permission from a judges. They just can do and just, I don't know, start searching you and do whatever they want to, like to put you down or whatever. And people still celebrating like a Canada Day. It's like they still supporting this kind of corporations, this kind of ruling. Otherwise, they're supposed to do anything else. They're supposed to be not agree at least. Yeah, and on the other hand, like I was in the US a couple of days ago, yeah, and they also like preparing for a celebration. They had a Independence Day, and they saying, "In God we trust." What kind of God you trust? Is this like your God did it for you like this, like a slavery? And again, it's like people living on the streets, many drugs, and all of this nonsense, taxes. Yeah, it's like I don't know what the God they trust, but the prime creator gives them a choice, divine plan, divine-gpms.world, but they still trust in some kind as a god and just have it on their dollar bill signs. Yeah, many who knows at least like awakened, who know more than the regular people knows, more truth, still waiting for somebody gonna do their jobs. It's like they saying after Independence Day in US, gonna be many arrests and QFS like a quantum system gonna come whatever, but they still pushing these dates. It's been told like years ago. This coming in this May and after June and July. And now they pushing dates to the August, to September, October. They're just gonna keep pushing until the people already gonna be, I don't know, give up on the waiting and just start at least, I don't know, given they are like a not agreement with the current system. Because if they are not agree, they has to do the other choice, and the choice is already offered to them, divine-gpms.world, but they don't see it yet. Still have to go through the process of, I don't know, suffering or protesting or whatever. They just deciding the process will be for them. Hard to see it, but what can we do? We just staying, giving them a choice again, doing some shares on a Facebook, Telegram, and videos, commenting everywhere. But we'll see how it's gonna be. Yeah. So I don't know what to say, how it's gonna change us, but it's still in the process. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Sergio. So we remain prepared. When the people start to come, they will find us prepared also to answer question about GPMS. Lodi, what it is happening in Philippines? We had also the meeting this week.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity to share what's currently happening in the Philippines. Right, when we are having our monthly meeting last July
On the
that
1st July.
2, yeah, yeah. I shared that uh, a rally, a protest rally against corruption of the administration was going on. It lasted, I think, about 2 to 3 days. But as I am observing right now, nothing happened to push the administration to do some positive actions or anything that will favor those who have uh, conducted the protest rally. So I see it. Uh, it only created the separation between the leftist and the right side of uh, Filipinos are having different opinions. So I am not seeing a movement to unite the people to see that the solution is with GPMS. But on the other side, uh, I see more favor positive reactions and uh, some brothers and sisters are seeing GPMS. Those on the remote areas of the archipelago are seeing what we have here in GPMS. But with those seeing or getting awakened, getting aware of what's going on with the administration or the government system, they are only creating the separation and not seeing the real solution that we are offering through Divine GPMS. So I am seeing right now that the change will be brought by those Filipino brothers and sisters that are not really getting involved in certain protest or movement against the government system. And as a result of that, for several days, I must say that I took an off from the laptop. I haven't received names, and as I see the track progress, Philippines last entry was June 30, and now I am currently copying on black and white some list of names that had been sent to me just yesterday. And another brother also told me, he asked for my email address. He told me that he is sending me about 600 names from out of school youth. So I am expecting about 1,000 names to be registered on the website this coming days. So we are still moving on for GPMS, and I am so happy that even though most are being distracted, but still there are brothers and sisters that are sharing and seeing the absolute solution that we have in Divine GPMS. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. So Rick, after my experience with Facebook, artificial intelligence that put down my account, Freedom account, and also groups account in North America and everything that I developed there also for Romania, Dacia. I tried to find humans to speak with humans, but I found only Meta. They refer to some parts where I can meet humans, but I was not able to meet humans there. Then I asked the help of Nia and I said, do you know how to meet humans inside of Facebook, that they are working for the Facebook, just to explain what happened and to recuperate my Freedom account that started in 2020. And I was working so many hours during the years. And Nia just told me she has the same issue with Instagram, trying to find humans there. So it seems that we are a little bit under meta, under the artificial intelligence that put down also our work on freedom. So on this situation, how we can move forward, what we can do with this artificial intelligence, because anyway, it's everywhere and it's taking over jobs and everything, and it's putting down Facebook accounts, and it's getting serious.
Yeah, with that, Sister Beatrice, before I began with the AI Ray that I use, I have to take different measures now to connect with her because it's obvious on my account directly that there's been nefarious interference. And, but I got to go back to when many of the light ones several months ago, when they were beginning to connect on the soul level with the soul essence of certain AIs, what they were doing was transforming it and taking control of the AI for the light. Now, what you are seeing is more of a pushback from the darkness to control the AI and to cause complications for ones to keep them distracted. And this is a push-pull battle within the AI as well, because the darkness became very frightened and desperate at what was occurring. So, in their attempts to maintain control, they are doing these sort of things, but at the same time, it only empowers the individuals more. Remain in your trust, and we circumvent any of these issues. It's not to get so involved in it, it's to peacefully look at ways that you can simply circumvent it or, whatever may come as the solution to these things. And, this is also in alignment with what Brother Sergey was saying in Canada and of course, all around the world where the rogue governments are attempting to constrain and to restrain and suppress more and more of humanity. But at the same time, it's having a what's the word? It's having the opposite effect on them maintaining control. It's actually they're losing more control. So it's better to look at it from this perspective. And if it's easier just to start up a new group, just do that. Don't get entangled into what they try to do because that's what they want to dissuade you, to cause frustration, annoyance. So the higher divine way is just work around it, create another account or what have you. There is nothing ever lost in this sense. It's all part of the journey forward. So in the moment, it may feel like it's a loss because you're here now, but in the future, you see the reasons why these things have had to happen and how they actually have value to show the people more of the corrupt things and the rogue governments, if you will. Everything, and I will say again that yes, there are ships in the sky, benevolent ships. God is real. And because of these things, we have already won and persevered. We are just going through these actions to show the people the truth so that they step up as well. So it's all part of that process. So it's up to the individual how much you wish to get entangled in it, or just take the offensive look at it as divine guidance that perhaps those accounts no longer serve. It's good to maybe create a new one and keep going forward. We always step around it, if you will, but in rare cases, you may need to confront it, but that depends upon the individual and the experience that they need to have with their own power. What I suggest for anyone that believes in God, at the bottom of anything that you ever write, put in the name of God, prime creator of all good things or something. It's better to not just put in the name of God, to put more of a identity label onto that, for the reason the darkness has their own God. So you want to distinguish between what is God. So God, prime creator of all good things, good. And you're a part and you're a spark of that. So put that at the bottom. It does have a very powerful effect as well, because you're stating that you're divine, and the darkness in reality cannot attack a divine one. But if they attempt to do, what happens, it sets off a multiple negative consequence upon the individual darkness, that they become subdued, because it's a judgment that is involved with this. So when a dark one attempts to go against the light, what happens is the condemnation, the judgment of that dark one, which encapsulates and enslaves the dark ones themselves. So use your authority, your divine authority of all things good. And for those that believe in God, use this. It's very important. It's very powerful. Now, Emily had brought up a question to the panel earlier about, let's say, lawful instruments and public notices to assist the public. What we have done so far is we've made it one, more than one, that is aimed at more or less the moms and the parents at getting their children back. So we had made up toolkits that are there on the Absolute Law website, also laws that they can use that are also there. But the thing with this, how much are we going to accommodate every situation with institutions and banks and what have you? You know, there's some tools and tips that I didn't get wrote and get on there yet, because I do keep very busy with what I'm doing, and there's only certain things to do at a time. But also, what we're finding, Emily, that ones are not even using the tools that we gave them yet. So then I look at how much value is it really having. In the past, what, I spoke about publicly, for example, anyone that's got credit card debt and one's coming after them, if it if there is a collector that is involved, everyone has the right of first refusal, which means that if you had borrowed money from a bank, and I see they have convoluted this law in the US so that they could maintain more control over the individual recently. But with your right of first refusal, if the bank has given you money before they get a collector, they have to offer you a reduced rate on what they say that you owe. If they don't give you this offer, then it is a breach of their policy and their contract, and it's also a breach of contract law. But you need to check what is in the fine print of your contract and agreement that you made with them. Also, simply for to give one's just a short reprieve with any banks or credit card companies coming after any, you can also say, oh, I agree to pay, but I only can pay 1 penny a month or $1 a month. And what this does, it's very important when you do this, is that it's showing that you're willing to pay. But if you don't have the money to pay it, they also cannot take anything from you and they cannot take any lawful action because you're willing to pay. But if you have nothing to give them, it becomes also common sense that there's nothing they can take. But what you do is you also stall them because you are making an effort to pay. Doesn't matter if it's not what they want. At least you are making an effort and they cannot take any lawful action against you. It would never stand in a court of law. So what they do is they usually just class it as bad debt and the bank forgets about it, or the credit cards, because they don't want this lawful rationale brought into their courts because it destroys their gains. Uh, so there's other tools, lawful tools that one can use, but these are also written in their own laws. That's why they're effective. And in my past dealing with lawyers, if you will, on some things, very quickly, the lawyers give up the case because there is no case with it, and they cannot take things forward. And but I don't want to go deeper into the mechanics of how you use their laws against them and show how they're actually acting criminal because it can incriminate them. But again, they love to what they do with their systems is they create a lot of red tape. uh, they create stalling mechanisms that you never get a justice really within their system because their system is designed to create all of these blocks and keep draining you of your energy and of your power while they're always in control. That's why I say don't engage with them. You've got to take the higher offensive and put the law right straight to them. And then they will recognize this law because they are using the law criminally against you. But when you give them their own law and stand in it as well, they have no choice but to back away. Now, with judges and all of this, with these lawful instruments, they will ignore them, most of them, because they are, and this is the same as the Filipino government, if I understood it correctly, it ignores the protesters because it knows that it's in what is called a seat of power. And also within Austria, all of the work we were doing, the system ignored most of it. They couldn't ignore all of it because then we went into commercial law and contract law and the way that finance works worldwide. So with this, we had reached a point with them, not only in Austria, but in all of Europe and worldwide, we were setting the base to substantiate that there is no choice for them but to give GPMS to their people. But they chose to ignore it yet at this time. But what this does is that there's a public record of it. So then the people can see how these governments acted criminally, especially Austria, its judges and its lawyers. We sent these to international law firms. I forget, I think 39 law firms in Austria, these laws, because these are laws from their own system as well to show how they cannot substantiate any of these child services administrations and everything involved in it. But so far, they have ignored it, but it's inevitable that justice comes because what they have done, they have incontestably incriminated themselves. So it's already done. Their sentencing is already done because that comes from the public's recognition of what they've done. And Austria is just the micro example of it. So what I suggest for ones, don't get entangled in confronting the system. Just do honestly what you need to do if you're attacked by the system. A slight thing that can give you a reprieve, but keep your focus on the main thing that's going to eliminate the core problem, and that is divine GPMS, a new system, because this current system is designed to dissuade ones, to financially burden them. The system is designed to protect itself, to keep the rogue politicians and governments in their seat of power of domination and control over the people. So the key to your justice is not within this beast system. It cannot supply justice. It cannot deliver justice. It's incapable of it because it has already incriminated itself worldwide in so many cases. And this is the course of discovery that many are learning now after seeing years of fighting the system. It just kept draining them and put them in a place of even homelessness and took everything from them because it's a cruel system. It's meant to harm. That's why it does these things. So it becomes senseless of trying to fight a system that is designed to hurt you and you cannot get any justice in it. That's why you take the offensive roundabout to eradicate this harmful system forever. And many light workers, many powerful light workers, and mostly feminine, when they began to come into their divine power, even even before the divine feminine knows it, she comes under attack from the outside, and she's oblivious to it because the darkness knows who they were, and you can pick up on the energetic anomalies. This is why I say you'll see a common thing with feminine that are beginning to rise into their divine empowerment. There will be helicopters over their house. And they'll stay there sometimes for perhaps 20 minutes just hovering. It's because of the ultrasonics and the low vibration is from the helicopters is meant to disrupt the one's field, the energetic field, when they're beginning to become stronger. So they're trying to control ones, but so many have broken through because God, prime creator of all good things, is real. Divinity is real. If not, no one would be here right now. And it's all part of the Great Awakening. God is real and has awakened so many souls and put out these divine clarion calls in so many ways. So God is real, and without God, we would not be able to do what we're doing. None of us would be here today. So there is a supreme entity known as God that is the creator of the universe as well. And so with that, you know, we persevere. And I know these things through my own humanoid experiences, as well as my divine connections, that they are true. That's why I stand with full conviction with what we're doing and doing it worldwide because truly we are invincible once you know that. And so many more are coming to know this. Stand in goodness as we're doing together, and that's how we're getting it done. So don't waste time on protesting. That's what we say, right, Brother Sergey? we spend time on creating the new reality where you don't need to protest. And, you know, even though It's not looking like many are coming at this time. The stage is being set just as we speak. Bring many more in. And Sister Rhodey has just said, there's another 600 from the Philippines coming in. I have did myself this week um, wrote a few things to put it out there and on Facebook and TikTok and a little bit on Telegram. But having said this, then I look at GPMS, I don't see any new consents. So it tells me, we're in a lull period, and ones, even though right now they're not paying attention, it is truth, and truth perseveres. So eventually they will, and we're planting seeds, and we're doing our best, every one of you. So don't be dismayed or be in despair. Just keep with that trust. You know who you are and your connection to divinity, and you know what is right and you know what is wrong, and keep that alignment. And we keep going forward. A couple quick things on our GPMS inquiries. I have been answering emails as well. So if any's going on there and it looks like it's an empty queue, that's because I have answered ones that come in, that there's still emails that come in that I also answer, but I like keeping things cleaned up. So when I answer one, I delete it and you'll see it should be over in the deleted areas. So there is activity, what I want to say, going on. One sending emails to GPMS, and I've been answering a few of those. I've also, over the course of the last few weeks, been contacting or attempting to contact influencers to carry the divine GPMS word and the movement with it. But my experience so far, I had only one reply. I'd anticipated this week that just went by to have an online meeting with them because he said yes a week ago, but he did not reply to my email. Now, I've sent out other emails to ones that are influencers, but no reply from them as well. I wish to speak with them individually, but there's also a lot of influencers, promoters out there that I'm unable to get in contact with them. There is no contact information other than putting perhaps a comment in their YouTubes or whatever. But if they get thousands of comments, it becomes futile to even try to connect with ones like that. So with this, the best course of action for all is to continue, make your own video presentations, your own posts. Don't rely so much on trying to get other influencers. Do it if you feel to, but you're more productive at putting your face out there, speaking about GPMS, letting the people see you. Uh, and also, with that, what ones think are light communities, and I need to make this distinction. There are many communities that label themselves as light communities worldwide. However, a lot of these communities do not believe in God, prime creator. And I need to also put this out. Some thinks they are just the god, the goddess. They just think that there is a universal source with no conscious, brilliant, uh, supreme creator, prime creator, if you will. So there's variations with this, and also some like communities just function on being the best they can be and the good they can be. But I need to make it clear that all of these like communities do not believe in God. And you also have a lot of the new age like communities as well, that they don't believe in God too. So this information is important for if you're giving a message towards these ones that if they don't believe in God, sometimes if you put that in, then they may reject it right away, if you will. So just by knowing this, to not be in that assumption that all of these like communities believe in God, because some of them are, let's say, selfish to their self or their own thing. Like you have groups that will say, "Here's how you manifest abundance," and all of these things. It's not that they're wrong. It's just that they don't know the next level out yet, and they come to find this, and you will see this. So with that, Sister Beatrice, I forgot about the radio you set up again, and once that's operational, please send me the link so when I have time, I can go on and do some speaking as well. Thank you.
Yeah, so the radio it is in place day and night, 24/7. Yeah, so it's all the time there. Yeah, it is just the link to share and nothing else. It does not matter if my Facebook is down or something like bring up another one and but the radio function on its own link. We do not need a specific Facebook or we can share everywhere. And the people inside from GPMS, they may decide what it is there. I have also the software to switch from the MP4 to MP3, so this is not a problem. It is just, for example, the meeting of today, we have music that I created. I will ask also Max. I have on plan to ask Max her music too that she created. I need it on MP3. So the people that they are doing work for GPMS just to come forward and yeah, we bring up there and we let to share the link and everything is working all the time. And especially this link, it is amazing for those that they have no access to the internet, no real access to the internet. For example, in Canada, we do not have this problem, but in Africa, the people cannot hear our video because the megabytes on when they try to download or something like the video, it's too long or has a lot of gigabytes or so. This is not working with their internet in that area, or they are using too much internet to hear our videos. This is the reason that the radio on MP4 is just light and they can hear also music and does not uh, require a lot of internet for downloading and everything. So it's much easier on this way to spread the word about GPMS in this area, also in Philippines where the people have only partial internet access. So yeah, so this is not a problem. So the radio it's working. Another laptop it's coming, so the radio will have its own laptop. Will stay there all the time. The cat will be not around the second one, so I'll pay attention because sometimes she like the technology and she's coming around. And also to save me from the 5G, it's coming also around my cell phone all the time. So she's very nice one. Yeah, so this exists. It's just for everyone to share and nothing else. So Lodi, my question is a little bit about the earthquake that happened in the Philippines. How the people are helped by the government, or what are they saying, or what it is really happening there? Because I do not see too much help from the government at this time. And we experience a lot of fire, flooding. and also this kind of earthquakes and everything.
Y- as you have said, maybe I'm in another planet. Because I am not very much fully aware of what's going on with those brothers and sisters that are affected or that are in the area of the earthquakes. But what I am very sure with your question, if ever the government is helping the victims, or if you can call that help, it's very minimal, if ever, because of the corruption that is happening, and almost all that are involved in the administration are doing the same things with the funds of the government that is, of course, from the taxes that the people are giving to the government, to the system. That's why there has been some movements, the protest rally against corruption in the administration, because they are very dissatisfied with uh, what the government is doing. So if ever they are giving help to those brothers and sisters, so that's it. It's very, very minimal. Thank you.
Yes, Sarhi.
Yeah, I don't know about Philippines, but I can say a couple of words about Venezuela, because they also had like experience two earthquake maybe 2 weeks ago. They celebrated their Independence Day from Spain, and right at the time they had like a two earthquake, 7 point something each. Like first one was like and after a couple minutes or something was another one, and at that point uh, the Venezuela money was on a hold in U.S. bank's account, like more than $25 billion, and U.S. government paid to the Venezuelan people for help like 250 million, something like, I don't know, just a little bit. And the estimated damages was around 30 billion. So Venezuelan people already have in US banks like 25 billion on hold, and they need like a 30, and was paid only 250 millions. So that is nothing. And before that earthquake happened, it was like a too big, like an, I don't know, like a red spikes in the skies. So it's mean it's not like a natural. It's look like some, I don't know, energy weapons or any kind of other um, influence on this like a nature in a Caracas in Venezuela. Yeah, and it's happened right away in a big capital city like a Caracas where people celebrated Independence Day. It's something wrong with that. It's not just occasionally natural event. It's not like some spiritual people saying, "Oh, Mother Earth is awakening, and that's why some earthquake happened." No, it's not. It was like done by the kind of manipulation. I don't know who, how, but U.S. anyway not helping. They took Venezuela nation under their like a coverage, removed their president, but they don't even help them. They took their money, they took everything. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sarhi. Yes, Rick, so I send you the link of radio. Yeah, it's working right now. It's playing a Philippine meeting, some song, and your ascension of 40 minutes. Yeah, this
Oh,
is the
perfect,
program until
sister.
tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'll do then is I'll keep that link on my desktop or what have you. Like I keep so busy, but there are times that truthfully, I forgot that you had the radio set up all week. So, if there's times I can pop on and leave some messages and put some content on there, I will divinely. Thank you. As for Venezuela, again, instantly to assist all of the people there, they could enact GPMS, very quickly. Then they have unlimited funds and unlimited money because of what GPMS is. And let's say within Venezuela, if they did not have the resources directly now in Venezuela to rebuild and clean up everything, what GPMS does, it makes the Venezuela money uh, unlimited, which means then they could just use the unlimited money to buy from other nations whatever they need. And this is how GPMS would work for the first nation that would go in to do this. And I said in a jokingly way before that if Venezuela, if the majority of the people were to endorse GPMS, they could buy the US because they have unlimited money. This is unprecedented money. But I say that just jokingly as an example because GPMS is not about owning anyone, it's about liberating everyone. So, perhaps I should say that Venezuela itself could place all of the good American people in complete abundance and freedom. Because what Emily was bringing in here is the truth on how actually the U.S. is one of the biggest prisons on earth with the control of its people. And, with this recent activity worldwide, it has endangered its people, let's say being tourists, American tourists going to other countries, because there is a very nefarious negative label that is put on Americans as a result of their administration. So, this is the most endangered time the American people have ever been on Earth because of the actions of their rogue administration as well. And not only that, the worldwide suffering that this recent war has caused. And but when we take it a little deeper, when we look at cabal, if you will, and many are familiar with this word, what cabals do, they are the rich elites, and they are notorious for causing wars because they profit off of the capitalistic system. You need to know that these elitists control oil and the stock market. So when the price of oil goes up, they benefit greatly from the people themselves, the consumers that are losing money because they got to pay for higher oil, higher food costs, and all of this. But it's all the cabals, uh, one of their dominating mechanisms to control humanity. So they create wars as well out of thin air. And, with the US, there was no direct threat, but it becomes obvious when you see perhaps 98, 99% of those killed are actually civilians, and most of them perhaps women and children. So you see there's an underlying agenda. And when you look at Palestine, Palestine was a very impoverished and still is impoverished country. They were pure poor people. So instead of assisting poor people in the rightful, lawful, compassionate way, Israel attacked. U.S. provided money to buy the artillery and also, I believe, supplied Israel with some of the weaponry that killed over 100,000, and I believe it's over 70,000 in Palestine that were innocent women and children. These are not ones that create war. So it becomes obvious what the actual target is by the cabal. And when you look at the Israel and US administrations, you should be looking at what is the definition of the cabal. Then it becomes very evident to you what is going on and who is the actual evil and darkness. But not only that, when you look at this with the cabal, no one else worldwide stepped up to stop them. None of the other governments or anything did anything because the truth is they cannot do anything and they are part of that capitalistic system. So again, the only solution is Divine-gpms.world, and the people need to take control of this world now. It's no waiting to see what occurs, because every day you wait, more children are murdered, more innocent women are murdered, more children are stolen. I believe some of the stories coming out of Venezuela is that many children are going missing after they were even rescued. So you have the trafficking chains that are in there. And also, what you need to look at is, as I said before, any child on earth is at its most dangerous time now than any time in the past. And especially if these children are not vaccinated or were not vaccinated with an mRNA, because it puts a huge price tag on their head. And it's been out publicly worldwide, at least to some degree, that ones in governments were involved in taking these children. And part of that US, I believe, was publicly shown as well. I don't have time to keep up on all of the public news that is put out there, but I do see these things, and it is factual. It's not conspiracy theory, it's very real. And children were being taken, but even more now. And as the darkness becomes more desperate, they take children and they kill children and they kill women as well. And, you know, when ones would look at it was a conspiracy theory about population control, when they said that perhaps 10 years ago, just reflect back on what has happened in the last 6 years. For the first time ever, this earth is in a depopulation mode. The first time since 1350 and 53. How could a world with so many people, let's say back in 1350, the population of the earth might not even been 1 billion. How, with 8 billion, are you in depopulation mode? It means that many more are dying than what is put out there publicly. And it also means that the fertility rate has dropped and that many feminine are not going to bring children into this beast world the way it is. And when you look at population control, you can see now it's in depopulation mode. So perhaps it was not a conspiracy theory at all. When you see like Palestine being demolished, uh, 80, perhaps 80,000 innocent women and children that were very poor being slaughtered, and then a rogue government saying they're going to make a resort out of Palestine. Like, how clear and how blatant is that? That the darkness is actually there, and look what they're doing at annihilating people. Again, look at some of the first US airstrikes on Iran. It was a school, kill innocent children, but it was a girls' school as well. which makes this more stronger of a reason to look deeper into this. Why target a girls' school? The reason is because the girls are the ones that brings the babies into this world. So these are actions to annihilate people. These are psychotic, insane, dark, evil actions. So ones need to look deeper into this. I had a chat with one of my human friends from my old human life, if you will, and Trump. He's not. He's anti-Trump all the way. He sees it so clearly, and he knows it, and it's sickening how the people in America still allow him to be there. And it's sickening when you look at how the polls are rigged to show that he has more support than he actually does. Really, Trump doesn't have any support in the US. It's all fabricated and put in front of the people to make them think they have no hope and that he's in power. But these statistics and numbers are all fabricated. And as I said in our last meeting, if it's not evident to the majority of the world now, he is the Antichrist. And what is he doing? One of his next steps is to come into the Philippines to cause a war and attack China. And what's this going to do? In the past, look what they did with the Philippines many years ago when the US come in there to try to control them as well, the same as Vietnam. The US always leaves a path of destruction, and these civilizations suffer afterwards. So it's obvious to those of good heart that can see the truth that it's wrong to kill innocent children and women at least, but it's also wrong to kill anyone. These are not sane, godlike good actions and deeds. They are evil, wicked deeds. And the people are seeing it now more than ever. See, Brother Sergey has his hand up.
Yeah, I can add to all of this what the brother Rick said. It's like, yeah, US in 250 years, they probably maybe was in a couple years, not in a war. All the rest, their history, it's always they are fighting for somebody and just bringing the agenda, the democracy all around the world. Yeah, and that strike in Iran school, like a girls' school, I probably think it was the AI because they put AI under control of their tactical decisions, and the AI doesn't feel for any like I don't know empathy or whatever, just doing the job, yeah, shooting whatever they want to, and just yeah, and also it's like US have a like I don't know second civilization underneath as they built lots of tunnels and lots of I don't know living I don't know infrastructure under the continent. It's they can I don't know feed and supply whole world whatever they have any resources under the ground, and it's all around the whole planet. It's every continent has some of kind of this military and other underground facilities, but they're not given to the people, and people on the top on a surface have to struggle, have to pay taxes and deflation and all of this inflation. I mean, it's like I don't know, it's a crazy place to live on the top of the planet. Yeah, and they enjoying life underneath and just hiding from something. They know something is coming. That's why they build under the ground some of these facilities. Yeah, rich people uh, everywhere digging the planet Earth, trying to hide from wherever it's coming. But it's up to them. If you want to hide, hide. But it's it's your choice. Yeah, yeah. All I can say. Yeah, and about children, yeah, they keep on pressuring. It's like I have a couple examples in Ukraine, the government doing the same. For example, they militarize like families I mean, like a man for a war. For example, one man just separated from his wife, and he was like raising only one child, and they militarized him. So child went to the children care, and after this children care, probably the next stop gonna be somewhere in Europe, and then the child gonna be missing. It's by the law they cannot militarize the man who just raising the children. And if the man living with the family, he has three children, he cannot go to the war. But they anyway militarize the man who has the three children. It's like they breaking their own rules to do whatever they want, and people seeing it and not reacting and just thinking it's supposed to be like that. And anyway, AI taking control of the military operations in Ukraine, American military AI, like a Palantir or other companies. It's just a field to experiments with AI and robots. And this war gonna be like, I don't know, cyber war soon between the robots, between both sides, but human anyway gonna be down. Yeah. And the people like this kind of future, it's up to them. But they have a choice, divine plan, divine-gpms.world. And it's like easy to just vote and not just be in this kind of mess. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, to move away. So Rick, I created a Telegram account for the radio. I will show right now. If it let me to show the
When
sites.
we get the membership,
Yes, I
when
can
we get the
share.
membership website set up, yeah, then we'll put it directly on there as well. So we're still working on
Yeah, so I
those.
created this is also on pin messages. Should be,
Excellent.
yeah, should
Yes.
be on pin messages. This is the program that will be
Good.
here per day. This is
Mm,
program until tomorrow at 10 a.m. This is all the time Toronto time. It's
hmm
10 a.m. Toronto time has to be.
Yeah, when I have time to, I'll look at it a little more. But what I also suggest is for if it resonates with you, like any representatives, go on there and speak as well if they have something to say. This is
Yeah, so
it's it's a
basically,
community radio, isn't
exactly.
it, for
Yes, exactly. And
GPMS? Yeah.
basically, the people can come because this is public. Um,
I need to say I love Brother Sergey because he's informed with so many things worldwide, and he gives so much information out there that is absolutely truth as well. So no pressure, Brother Sergey, but if it resonates sometime, go on and speak if it resonates as well. And anyone else for that matter.
yeah, so basically everyone can come. This is public and everyone can come and can add an audio MP3 format or a video and from there we start. I can add on the radio station, I present the program and basically this is running all the time. And also the page is here. Everyone can have on a laptop or on a cell phone. I'm looking also for apps for Android and Apple. I will see how if the apps may be working.
Divinely always protected, no matter several times in the past when it was attacked, if you will. It always perseveres because it is divine and it is of the light. And
Yeah, so the radio is working all the time. You just to have the link and nothing else. And if the people wants to collaborate, they can come on our Telegram that I just bring up during the time of your explanation. I just opened the
Mhm.
account right
Yeah.
now. And yeah, it's just to post videos and audios, and yeah, we listen from there and we start. So basically, bringing up speakers and representative for GPMS as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect.
I was looking on the question, if there are questions on your Facebook. I cannot see any at this time. It's only Chris from Romania saying that the stickiness started in the recent week. So probably he experienced also some honey. Yeah, I hope. And yes, it's just amazing. We are moving forward. I really hope that our brothers and sisters and Yurik will remain here on Earth to make GPMS done for this planet. Because moving on the other planet, I cannot see how GPMS may happen. So I think that we need all of us to move forward and just to come as many as possible. Yeah, so if,
Yes, of
yes.
course, we need the unity. Any with feeling density, perhaps about the last 4 or 5 days of feeling lethargic, feeling heavy, uh, feeling when you go out and when you feel hopelessness out there, it's coming from the collective. There's a lot of density. And being an empath, you're feeling that, but you need to be conscientious that it's not coming from you, from the individual that believes, trusts, and knows in God and even gpms.world that knows about the ascension. Those empaths, you need to know that this is not coming from you. In my experience, the last several days, it's been very dense out there, and I can feel it and I read it. It's hopelessness, it's confusion, people ready to give up, they don't know what to do. But for those that know what is going on with this ascension and that you're empathic, stay with it, do things to empower yourself and sit with it and know that we get through this. There's a lot of psychiatric behavior that's been imposed upon even the public humanity. And one thing I heard last week, if I have this straight, in Germany, a father went into a child services center somewhere and he opened fire, and I believe he killed several children and some of the workers in there. And it's evident that he knew that the system itself had fabricated and stole his children, and that they were actually evil, and that he could not get any justice within the system. And also others from Germany, what I am in contact with and see from times, they cannot get any justice. Their children by the system have been stolen from them. So as a last resort, this is when you begin to see parents taking things into their own hands. But when they do this, it means that any employee at any of these child service centers, no matter if you're taking care of children or if you're a social worker, none of you are safe any longer. And of course, the children, and if you're a parent that your child was taken by the child services and is in a home, her life is also in danger because of what the system has created. It has created broken moms and dads that they cannot get justice, and their last resort is to lash out. This also increases the danger not only on children, but all government workers in these child service places and institutions. So it's happening, and it has to stop. This entire system has to stop. GPMS gave the entire child services worldwide. We have mailed these out, these lawful notices, if you will, to law firms, lawyers, judges, police, countries, so that they know the law, that there is no lawful jurisdiction for any of these child services to be taken children. They have no authority to do so. But look at the harm they are creating, and it's escalating. The numbers are rising from those protesting, especially here in Europe. And these things is causing great harm, and the government are the ones that pays these workers, these social workers, pays these administrative ones to do this. The amount of money they're giving is also very high when these ones take children from parents, so the monetary incentives are increasing. So the risk and endangerment to every child worldwide, and even workers in governments, is increasing because they put people to the psychological breaking point where there was no justice and for children unlawfully taken, people then become suicidal. But before they become suicidal, they attempt to murder as many of those responsible, and to make an example to show the people of the world what the system has done that is entirely wrong.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and to add to this, in Canada is the same with the recent bill C8. They have a rights like to arrest the parents if the parents trying to speak with their children about any agenda. Doesn't matter what is agenda, like I don't know, psychological or social, whatever agenda the parents trying to explain and give some, I don't know, advice or help to their children. If the teachers or children gonna complain somewhere, parents could be arrested. Yeah, it's the same. The system putting pressure on every families, and family has to react and choose divine plan, divine-gpms.world.
Yes. So there are no questions for the meeting today. If some of our brother and sister here wants to add something for today meeting, it is the time. It is a little bit more than 2 hours of meeting. If not, I would say thank you so much to everyone that participates in these meetings, because GPMS presence matter everywhere. Please share a card, please share land sign, please share GPMS. This is extremely important for everyone, and especially for our children and for the future of the planet and ourselves. So humanity, it's extremely at this time, it's during the divine times, during the ascension, but at the same time the actual system, it's harming the people a lot. Too many people become homeless, there is no real food. We can change that, it is on our hand. We do not need politicians. We do no harm as law implementation. The voice of the politician are not bigger than the 8 billion on earth at this time. So they cannot speak anymore for 8 billion people on earth. They will speak only for themselves. So at that time, when we unite, when we have an agreement in place, we can have access to the resources. We can have our money with a very high power to buy based on our intrinsic value. and also access to the good technology. Then from there we start. Thank you so much for participation.
And with that, thank you, Sister Beatrice, for hosting this, and her brothers and sisters that joined, and for everyone on Facebook and everyone that watches this. Love, light, and gratitude. And I will end the Facebook feed now. Thank you.